Okay, well, good morning, New York Jets fans and NFL fans. Welcome back. It has been I probably haven't done a video since after the Super Bowl. So you're looking at least 3 months. But it is May 16th, 2024, 7:30 a.m. Trying to get this video in. I didn't want to do it last night after the schedule was released. I wanted to do it this morning. I want to look at the schedule, I want to look at the dates, I want to look up some information. Uh, well, like last year, you have a star on your team and you're going to be um, showcased and you're going to be on prime time. This year, I believe we are on six primetime games, seven standalone games because of the London game. Uh, they all come within the first 11 weeks. So you have seven standalone games in 11 weeks, which means the other 4 weeks you're playing at that 1 and 4 o'clock slot. But let's jump into it right now. I'm not going to give a prediction. You can't give a prediction in May, right after the draft, which I think Joe D and the team had a very good draft, and we'll get into that as we get, through when mini camps and training camps all start to converge. But let's look at it. We start off on prime time, Monday Night Football, like last year. Okay, the only difference is all the hype will not be at MetLife Stadium this year. And I have to tell you, and I tell this to everybody, last year the pregame show was on point. It was on point to it could have been a championship game. And I said this to everybody. I remember at one point, one of my daughters turned around saying, "I have goosebumps." From Method Man doing the lineup to the synchronized lighting and the fireworks and the wristbands that light up and just, 9/11 and the flags and everything. And I'll stop at that because we all know what happened after that. But this year, they're across country. They're in San Fran. They're facing the defending NFC Championship team, the 49ers, Monday Night Football. Excuse me. You could say there are some backstories there. Yes. Okay. San Fran is a team that Rodgers played very well as a Packer. He's beaten them in the playoffs, I believe. You have San Fran, that's the defending champions, like I said. Great defensive line. Now you have Rodgers, who last year, again, not going into what happened. Everybody knows what happened. Going to be with a new offensive line, going to try to get his new weapons going and his old weapons going. And let's face it, everything is really new to Rodgers. But they open up on Monday night. And actually, the Giants open up on Sunday night. So all of opening weekend and opening weekend starts on Thursday. They play on Friday. And then all day Sunday, you can watch all these games. And then you have the Giants Sunday night against the Washington Commanders. Giants celebrating 100 years in the league. Excuse me. And then you have the Jets on Monday night. So you have to wait that extra day. Following week, they're away again. And it's kind of, ironic that they're away 2 weeks in a row, especially when the Giants are away the second week as well. I don't know if anything's going on at the stadium or whatnot. But they're at Tennessee. It's a 1 o'clock game, and that's on September 15th. So they travel to San Fran. They travel to Tennessee. Not bad. They could fly back east after the San Fran game, and they don't have to fly too far. They don't have to travel too far for Tennessee. 4 days later, September 19th, they open up against the Patriots, Thursday Night Football. Now, yes, the Patriots are always, always, always going to be a rival because of the last 25 years of history, or even you could go 27 years when Parcells came over from the Patriots. But let's face it, it'll be the first time since, 2000 that the Patriots do not have Pete Carroll, not Pete Carroll either, don't have Bill Belichick, and don't have Tom Brady. So, yes, they are an AFC East rival. Yes, they are the Patriots. Yes, this is a home opener Thursday night. I expect nothing less than another great pregame ceremony and show. But they play the Patriots' second standalone game in 10 days, Thursday Night Football, so it's on a short week. And that's the home opener. That is September 19th. 10 days later, because they're playing Thursday, they won't play the following weekend, they're also home against Denver. Again, backstory here. The Nathaniel Hackett history there. So you have Denver, and also you have our friend Zach Wilson, who is in Denver. I don't think he's starting, but listen, Zach will be there. And that is the first 4 weeks. So two on the road, two at home, two prime time, two 1 o'clock. Then we go to London. That's a 9:30 start. That is in October, October 6th. They're playing the Minnesota Vikings. Again, another standalone game. I like the London games. I get up, go to church, come home. We have our tailgate breakfast. We'll watch the games. And then, the rest of the afternoon, you're not sweating about watching the Jet game. It's over with if they won. Maybe you're a little pissed off if they lost. But I like those early games. Give me a 1 o'clock game every week, but schedule makers don't listen to me. After they go and play Minnesota, they come back home. Guess what? 8 days later, Monday Night Football against the Bills. So that is their third primetime game in less than a month, in 5 weeks. Well, a little bit more than a month, but 5 weeks. Second at home, second Monday Night Football game, fourth standalone game versus Buffalo. And again, I could just see another nice pregame show and ceremony. Hopefully, the game in between the shows are good. Next week, guess what? Another standalone game. We're at Pittsburgh, where I think we've only won once in our existence. Sunday Night Football, playing the Steelers. That's on October 20th. So by week 7, we have 2 Monday nights, 2 Thursday nights, 1 Sunday night, and a London trip. I mean, crazy. And I'm actually watching Good Morning Football in the background, and they're going through the schedule now. I mean, just crazy. After that, we go to New England for a 1 o'clock game. And again, New England, you want to win your division games and your conference games. New England is not going to be the matchup or the rivalry that it was in the past. Even when one of the teams was bad, there was always that Brady, Belichick kind of factor there. It's not there for a long time. Next week, guess what? They're back home Thursday Night Football against the Houston Texans. So now we're in week 9. That's 2 Thursday nights, 2 Monday nights, 1 Sunday night, and a standalone. That is actually Halloween. That's 10/31. So everybody's going with the black uniforms. And I'll get into the uniforms after we go through the schedule, the new uniforms and the legacy look. Following week, we fly out west to Arizona. Not bad on a short week. 10 days later, because it is a Thursday night game with Arizona. We come back home. Guess what? Week 11 versus the Indianapolis Colts. Sunday Night Football on October 17th. So in the first 11 weeks, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 primetime, 1 London game, 7 standalone games in the first 11 weeks. This is the first time in their history they have 6 primetime games. Last year they had 5. They had 6 standalones because they had the Black Friday game, which I'm a little disappointed because I really thought the Jets would be a staple for Black Friday every year. But after that Black Friday disaster last year, I could see why they switched it up. They did get a bye on week 12. Now, I'm going to sound like my father here. Every year, and I'll do this, back in the day when we first started going to the games, you looked at the Daily News, you looked at the New York Post around April. Okay, the schedule came out earlier then. And before social media, I mean, AOL was probably brand new and Prodigy and all that. And you looked at the sports section and you went to see when the schedule came out. And there was a little blurb at the bottom of the sports page that showed the Jets and the Giants schedule. And my father would go through it and mark win, loss, win. And, some of the games we kind of, we saw through green glasses. And he'd make his prediction. And then he'd get to the bye and go, they screwed us again. Why is the bye so early? Followed year. Why is the bye so late? Followed year. Why couldn't they put the bye here? But in a typical 17-game or 18-week season, you want the bye. I like it right in the middle. Okay, but not everybody can get in the middle. Sometimes the bye is needed early. Sometimes you're in a funk. And maybe you want to switch up and get the bye early. Sometimes the bye is needed right in the middle. That would be perfect world. Sometimes maybe you want it towards the end. Week 12. The only way I look at this is week 12. They may be exhausted from all these prime time and standalone games that week 12 may come at a good time. I don't know. I would have liked it week 10, maybe week 9, but week 12, I can't be that cynical. After the bye, they are home again, so they'll have 2 home games with the bye, sandwiched between them. They play Seattle and our old friend Geno Smith. So that is a December 1st game. We're now in the cold days, the dog days of December, 1 o'clock. We then shoot out to Miami, who is one of the favorites in the East. They were a playoff team last year on 12-8. We play them. We go back to Florida, play Jacksonville the following week. You know what? If this was 2 West Coast teams, I think they'd stay out there. I don't know about flying back and forth to Florida. They may just come back home. They play Jacksonville the following weekend at 1 o'clock. Then we come home and we play the Rams here. It's a 1 o'clock game. The Rams coming cross country, and a lot of people say that can mean something. Some people say it doesn't matter. You prepare. The Jets then go to Buffalo the weekend after Christmas, 12:29, 1 o'clock game, and it's going to be brutally cold up there. And then the Jets finish off at home against Miami, so they'll have Miami week 14, Miami week 18, 4 weeks in a row, 4 weeks apart. That is either going to be on January 4th or January 5th. They haven't picked the date or the time yet. That is depending, I'm guessing, on standings of both of these teams, postseason, potential. But that is your schedule. 7 standalone games, 6 primetime in the first 11 weeks. Then it kind of slows down after the bye. They are facing 6 playoff teams. So San Fran's a playoff team. Buffalo's a playoff team. Pittsburgh was a playoff team. Miami was a playoff team. The Rams were a playoff team. Buffalo was a playoff team, I mentioned. So those are your 6 playoff teams. It is a tough schedule. I don't like being on the road 2 weeks in a row to start the season. I like to get that game in. But we come in week 3. We play New England on Thursday Night Football. And as long as the Jets remain in the spotlight, and what I mean in the spotlight is right now Aaron Rodgers. I think if Aaron Rodgers goes through the season last year, whether the Jets make the playoffs or don't make the playoffs or whatever it is, probably if the Rodgers plays the season last year and they don't make the playoffs, we don't get 7 standalones. We don't get 6 prime times. Maybe 3. If he makes the playoffs and they make a run, then the story's back on Rodgers. Can he do it for this team? What the NFL now is doing is making up for last year. Hey, we had 6 primetime games or 5 primetime games with the Jets last year and the Black Friday game. And you know what? Rodgers played in portion of 1. We want to recoup that. Some other things that stand out, like I said, they're going to have a Friday night game. I believe the Packers open up on a Friday night. I forgot who they play. Tom Brady will make his Fox debut on opening weekend. That is Dallas going to Cleveland. The Giants, like I said, open up on Sunday Night Football. They also play at the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. And there are Christmas games. I don't know what the Christmas games are. Like I said, I'm not going to give you a prediction. I'm not going to give you records. But this is a pretty, rough schedule for the fans also. And the reason why I say that is, okay, they're away. You're going to watch Monday Night Football. They're away. It's 1 o'clock. Home opener's Thursday night. So your season ticket holders on a Thursday. You're going to get there early. You want to see that pregame again. Next day is work. A couple of weeks later, okay, you have the London game as early. Then they're back home Monday night. So you went from, Thursday night to a Monday night in basically, 2 weeks. Then the following week, Sunday night game, it's away. 2 weeks later, you have home at Thursday night again. 2 weeks later, you're home for Sunday night again. So as a season ticket holder or fans going to the games, yes, that can be rough. But I'm looking forward to the season. I'm looking forward to see what we can do. Like I said, I'll go through the draft and the breakdown of the schedule and give predictions and whatnot as we get closer to when the teams start reporting and training camp and reports coming out of camp and whatnot. Um, Also, the preseason schedule has not been released yet. They just gave the weeks that they're home. I think it's week 1 of the preseason they're away, week 2 they're home, week 3 they're away. They're only doing 3 preseason games this year because I believe they do have the extra home game. Let's see. So we have New England, Denver, Buffalo, Houston, Indy, Seattle, Rams, Miami. So we have 8. So and the Minnesota game at London is their extra, but they're the away team. All right, so let's talk about the new uniforms. Now I know I pops a shirt on. I actually wore this through the 2010-2011 playoff season. Um, Got the old logo we just got removed on from. So the new legacy logo I like, and I'm going to tell you for years I did not like them, and I'll tell you why. That old logo is a logo I grew up on. Went to my first game in 84, 83, 84. Was our last season at Shea. They had that logo. I loved it. I had a pen with it. I had a shirt with it. Anything that had the Jets with that logo on, I just loved. I just thought it was clean. It was crisp. And started going to the games and really following them at that point. And a lot of losing had to go with that. 1-15, 2-14, 4-12. 8-8, missed the playoffs in the last game, 7-9. You had a lot of bad memories with that, but you also had a lot of players that you hold dear to you. Wesley Walker, Freeman McNeil, Richard Todd, Kenny O'Brien, Al Toon, Mark Gastineau, Joe Klecko, Marty Lyons. So you always had that positive part of it. Then they came out with, Parcells took over that second year and he put in the Back to the Future look where they went back to the years of Namath and when they won the Super Bowl. And I jumped on it. I loved the white helmet. I loved that logo. And you got to remember, other teams were evolving their logo. You remember back in the day, the starter jackets, the heavy jackets and all that. And we never changed our logo until Parcells came in and he made us a brand again. And then, you had the whole, they're going to revamp. They got Darnold in. They moved on from Bowles to Adam Gase, and they were going to revamp, and they came out with this. The logo itself, I was not happy with. I thought it was very, very mediocre, very plain. Like, you try to stand out, and you can say, listen, the Packers have never changed their logo. The Giants have had only 2 logos. The Colts, the Steelers, same thing. But, you're New York, you want to stand out. And everybody said, go back to the legacy. It wasn't really until the Klecko Hall of Fame merchandise came out, and when I said, I went to the Hall of Fame last year, and when they introduced the legacy uniforms last year for certain games, and I saw what they did with them, and I was like, that's what I want. And don't laugh, but I advocated this on Twitter almost every day for a few months to the New York Jets to come back with this. But I know it wasn't me that did it, but I did that, and they came back with it. If you look around my room, right now I don't really have anything that has the old logo on it. I do have some picture frames, and I'll go through my room one day and show you. I have some shot glasses, some mugs. But I do like what they did with the new logo. I don't have any swag yet. I'm waiting as we get closer to the game. But I do like what they did with the new logo. I think they made it clean. They made it crisp. Um, the white uniforms, I really think are fire. They're really nice, and I think they did a good job. Um, there's a 5-year window to change uniforms. I don't think these uniforms will change for a while, especially if they do have success with them. So that is my video for today. I wanted to go over the schedule. Just wanted to touch upon the uniforms. Um, look, I know it's May 16th. We didn't even get to summer yet. We didn't get to June. We didn't get to training camp or anything like that. But the schedule's released. People can start looking at road trips. People can start planning their days that they're going to take off and whatnot. And then, it's showtime. But for right now, to get that football itch scratched, we had the schedule. Um, and look, you can say what you want. You can start doing wins and losses. I mean, the team right today may be different in 3 days, maybe different in 3 weeks, and maybe different in 3 months when they're in the second week of preseason. But as of right now, this is your 2024 New York Jets schedule, 2024, 2025, because they do play in January. Um, I'm excited about it. There are some teams I haven't seen in person in a while. Seattle, I haven't seen in a while. Here, the Colts, I haven't seen here. Um, so that's gonna be nice. The Titans also. I think the last time the Titans I saw, um, Mariota was their quarterback. So I hope everybody's having a great spring. End of the school year for your kids. Have a wonderful summer. Have a safe summer. Um, I will try to get videos going more often now. Maybe not once a week. Maybe every few weeks as news comes out. Um, and here we go, Jet fans. It's great to be back. It's great to have the schedule. It's great to have the new uniforms. We will discuss the draft. We will discuss the team in the future. But have a wonderful day. Have a safe day. A blessed day, whatever you say. Be safe. Stay healthy, and I'll talk to you soon. And don't forget to check us out on the video on YouTube. You can find us at the Jets Takeoff, and the channel is the Takeoff. You can also find us on Instagram at the Jets Takeoff. You can find us on Twitter at the Jets Takeoff. Um, Hook up with us on social media. Tell us what you think of the schedule. You going to any of these games? What do you think? Talk to you soon.